let's begin as usual in seated meditation, and then we'll continue from there. Just going through the usual arc of a practice, full spectrum, should be lots of fun. So find that comfortable seat. Allow yourself to begin to drop your awareness into this body of yours, softening and releasing whatever's sort of arising in your body, your face, shoulders, just letting things soften. And feeling your own breathing. It's just a gentle rhythm, a gentle rise and fall. And then allowing ourselves to mark the start of our practice with a shared breath. On your next exhale, empty your lungs. Take a big inhale. And a longish sigh, relax. Welcome once again, my yogi friends, to your yoga practice. Really great to have you here. As you inhale, you can open your eyes, reach your arms up. Take a kind of a stretch, a good morning stretch, whatever that looks like for you. Have a big yawn, perhaps. And then make your way onto your hands and knees. I tend to like to kick one leg out and then the other, just to release some of the crankiness that shows up in my knees and hips after seated. And then moving right away, let's take it into good old cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your bum. As you exhale, round press. Slight tugging forwards at the tops of your feet. You inhale, lengthening, undulating the spine. Exhale, round. And again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Nice. This time, as you inhale, extend your right leg nice and long. And then as you exhale, take your right foot over to the left and look over your left shoulder. Putting a bit of a side bend now through the right side of the body. Inhale back to starting. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Left foot or right foot goes to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, little side bend. And then inhale, center. Exhale, knee down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. As you inhale, extend your left leg. As you exhale, left foot goes to the right. Your gaze goes to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, maybe a little further. Inhale, center. And exhale, over you go. Inhale, center. Exhale, knee down. Take your knees wider, slide back to child's pose just for a moment. Let your elbows drop down, but creep your fingertips forwards. Let your head drop down. Feel a sense of spinal traction. Nice. And then as you inhale, come on back up on your hands and knees. Rock the weight forwards, tuck your toes, back we go, downward dog. Paddling your legs out. Nice. And then walk yourself up the mat, dangling yourself there. Hopefully not on too full of a stomach. On your tryptophan trip from yesterday, give your head a little bit of a shake. Release your shoulders, let your wrists relax. And then as you inhale, we'll come about halfway up. As you exhale, we'll fold or bend our knees a whole bunch. Dropping the bum into the chair. And then from here, we'll simply inhale, swoop our hands into the chair. And exhale, just sort of rest in there. Where am I on the screen? There we go. So here we are in a bit of a chair pose, rocking the weight back, just building a little heat into our legs. And then as you inhale, stand up. As you exhale, hands out wide, down beside the sides of your body. I'm just going to move my mat over so that I stay on screen. And then as you are standing there, Bring your feet together. Press your feet down and gather your thighs towards one another. As you inhale, bring your hands up overhead. That's it. And as you exhale, flip your palms over, face up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, take your body to the right, hips to the left, creating extension through the left side of the body. The important thing to note here is that the focus is from your left foot to your left hand. So if you can lift the right foot up or extend the right foot to the edge, you should be able to lift that foot from the ground and create that arc of energy all through the left side of the body. Nice. And then inhale back to center, feet together. Exhale, settle. Shoulders could be complaining a bit here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go left. Pressing your right foot down, creating extension through the right side of the torso. Maybe extend your left foot. Maybe you lift the left foot. The important thing here is to really focus on the arch of your right foot. It's lifting and keeping the big toe mound of the right foot on the ground, so you're not rolling to the outside edge of your right foot. And then inhale back to center, feet together. Exhale, hands can come down, and we can roll those shoulders back a few times. That's it. And forwards a few times. Looks like I forgot to put my phone on silent, so hopefully nobody bugs us while we're practicing. As you inhale, hands up overhead. And as you exhale, hands into cactus arms. Forwards, backwards bending. Inhale. Open up the heart and just linger here. A little squeeze in your bum. Press your feet down. Gather your thighs together. The arch of your feet are lifting, or arches are lifting. Your chest is lifting. You're creating an extension to the front of the body. You could squeeze your legs more firmly together. Hips come forwards. Chest lifts up. Beautiful. And then inhale, come to neutral. As you exhale, elbows come together. Hands into sort of prayer shape. Round your upper back. And drive your elbows towards your, upper abdomen. Knees just a little bit bent. Chin deeply tucked. Feel this rounding action through the back of the body. Nice. And then inhale. Stand up. Hands all the way to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we'll turn to the right. Extend your hands. And just linger there. Both feet, again, pressing down, gathering towards one another. If anything, create that sense of the arches lifting. You try to spread your feet apart. It feels like your heels are squeezing together and the fronts of your feet are dialing away from you. So dialing the feet away from one another as you open up all the way up through your hands. And then as you inhale, we'll gaze forwards, hands up, and as we exhale, twist to the left. Again, reestablish that foundation. You're not trying to roll to the outside edge of the left foot. Keep the left big toe mound rooted into the mat, the arch lifting, legs squeezing, nice and open through the upper chest. And then inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, sit down into the chair again. Palms face down initially, and then turn your palms face up. Let's give these shoulders a little bit of a movement here. This pose is called swimming bear. As you inhale, you begin standing up. You swoop your hands open like a breaststroke in swimming. And then as you exhale, palms are face up as you sit back down into the chair. So it's inhale, big swim stroke, and exhale, palms face up as you sit back down. Do 3 more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, swoop forwards. Sit down as far as you can. Inhale. Exhale. This gets a nice rotation through the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Turn your palms face down again. Big inhale. Exhale, fold the rest of the way to the ground. Good. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and then step back to good old plank pose. Top of the push-up. Nice and strong here. Squeeze your heels together. So Your head's not dropping down, you're not looking at your feet, and you're not looking way forwards. They're sort of looking about between your hands or just ever so slightly forwards. That should be about neutral. Exhale, knees down, feet flatten out, lie down. Get your hands active, so press your hands down and begin to dial them away from one another. Your elbows are definitely lifted and elbows are gathering towards each other. Pelvis press down, inhale up to cobra and linger. So pelvis is pressing down, tops of feet pressing down, chest more forwards as your hands feel like they're dragging back. Exhale down. Inhale to your hands and knees. I think we did this last week. You can tuck your fingers and move your wrists back, and you're probably at a better position then to rise back and up to downward facing dog. At least that works for my body. I need to step my hands back, otherwise it's too long a transition. Little crunches, getting into the core. Inhale, right leg up high, and you're high on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right knee to outer right arm, as high as you can on the arm. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, knee to outer left arm. You'll notice I can't get it there, so don't worry about it too much. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, step forwards. And now, again, a little sense of how to get to the front of the mat. I like to move my bum back, my front leg straightens a little bit, and then I step forwards with the left foot into a halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, let that sink in. Nice big inhale. And exhale, dive all the way back down. I got the hums, I'm sorry. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right leg, left leg back. Plank pose. As you exhale again, knees down, feet flatten out, hips down, lie down. Take your fingers off of the mat, up on your fingertips, elbows lifting strongly. And then inhale up again into cobra. Feels like you're dialing your hands away from one another. Feels like the elbows are gathering towards each other. Chest more forwards, pelvis down. Your knees probably lifting from the mat. Heart more forwards, quite active. And then exhale down. Hands on your mat, palms face down. Inhale out your hands and knees. Now, try this. Tuck your fingers into a fist. Step your wrists back. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, back you goes, downward dog. That works better for me. Maybe it works for you, I don't know. Try it out. As you inhale, left leg high. As you exhale, left knee to outer left arm. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, knee to right arm. Inhale up. Exhale, step through. And now here again. I try to bring my bum back a little bit so I can step forwards with my right foot to a half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands can come down. Beautiful. Inhale your hands overhead, palms facing. Exhale, sit into the chair. Take a big inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Bringing your left hand outside your right knee, your right hand to the low back. Spine twist, knees stay square, weights back towards your heels, spine nice and long, and maybe at the end you look over your right shoulder. Nice. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, sit down and begin to twist. Right hand outside left knee, left hand to low back. There's a little bit of a draw of the right hand against the left knee as you get long and look over your shoulder. And then inhale, rise all the way up again. And exhale, hands can come down and through. Again, hands to your hips. Let's try a little bit of a balance now that we've warmed up the body just a wee bit. Balance on your left foot. Bring your right knee up nice and high. Hold on to your right knee with your right hand. Flex your right toes back towards you. Here again, I mentioned it earlier, the big toe mound of the left foot is pressing down. The arch of your left foot is trying to lift. If you're rolling to the outside edge of your left foot like I just did, get that reestablished. The arch is lifting so strongly you can feel your inner thigh of your left leg engaged. From this position, it's not so easy to stay there. If you're gonna fall out, well, whatever, fall out, get back in. Reestablish that foundation. Foot to core connection is what we're trying to create here. Open your right knee out to the side as high and wide as you can. Left hand can go out, fist and thumb touching. And maybe you gaze out to the left, trying to keep the dynamic of this pose alive. As you inhale, gaze forwards, hand to hip, knee forwards, foot comes back down. Little shake, a little shake. Right foot stays where it is. Feel right away, I like to bend my knee, feel right away that connection of foot to core, feeling this sense of the arch lifting. Some people call this monkey foot, like the whole foot is nice and active. Left knee comes up, you hold the left knee to get higher and wider. Left foot active, right hand out to the side. First finger thumb touch goes off the screen, it looks like. So I won't go quite so far. Maybe even you look to the right. Nice. And then gaze forwards, hand to hip, knee forwards, foot down, a little shiggle, a little shake. Let's work on our legs now. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, right leg back, a long step, with the right toe stuck and the right knee down to the ground. Inhale, both hands up again. So we're trying to connect ourselves ground to core and core upwards. So that's first connection I find is dragging the left heel towards the right knee towards the left heel. It creates this nice solid sense of buoyancy, at least in this body. And hands up. So you're trying to keep the low body nice and active. Hands up. Big inhale. Then begin leaning forwards. Take your hands out to the side as you lift your right knee from the ground. So obviously the back toe's tucked. And you got to get both big toe mounds pressing into the ground. So we're coming to the midline, and this facilitates that left foot arch lifting. As you inhale, you swoop your hands forwards. Put a little bit more challenge into it by bringing weight forwards like this. Big inhale, exhale, hands come into fists, and you're in a standing lunge. There's a sense of trying to square up your hips when you're in this position, and you're trying to get everything into the midline. Nice big inhale, hands up, and then exhale, hands and fists. Add the little knee dips, inhale, knee down, hands up. Exhale, rise up. One more time, inhale, and exhale. From here, inhale, hands up, your knee can drop a bit. And just like that, stepping forwards, step forwards, hands swing behind. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, dive back down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your left leg back, left toes tucked, left knee down. To create the foot to core connection, drag your left or right heel to your left knee. Feel that connection. Back toes are tucked. Inhale, hands up. Hips are moving towards square, hopefully, ish, right? It's the same action as the foot to knee, as the hips moving to square, same idea. Big toe mound, right foot active. Big inhale, exhale, lean forwards, flare your hands. Back heel strongly lifted, establishing that sort of movement to the midline. Big toes doing most of the work, legs squeezing towards each other. Swoop your hands forwards, and then exhale, elbows come in. So full standing lunge. Wobbling might happen. Reestablish the foundation. Don't work from a bad foundation. Never a good idea. From here, inhale, hands up. Exhale, elbows down. Finding the motion, and then adding a little bit of movement in the knee. Inhale, hands up, knee down. Exhale, rise up. And again, inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, step forward, hands swing behind. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, down it comes again. All right. Again, another balance, very similar to one we just did, but in the opposite direction. So balance on your left foot first, bring your right knee up. This time hold your right knee with your left hand. And begin to draw that knee across the midline. Getting sensation in the outer hip. Notice the tendency to, here you'll see it in my body, rolling to the outside edge of that left foot. We don't want that to happen. We want to keep the left big toe mound pressing in the ground, arch lifting, keep that foot to core connection, and send your right hand behind you. But find the foundation. And if that involves bending your knee, great, that's fine, that's a good thing. So create the connection. And then as you are ready to come out, you gaze forwards, hand to hip, and knee down, you'll shake it off. As you may tell, this class is about foundation, finding the ground, working from the ground, and always establishing that nice and solidly. Right foot stays, left knee comes up, right hand holds your knee, draws it across a bit. Feel that on the outer left hip. Feel that connection through the right foot all the way through to the core. So right foot, inner right thigh, low abdomen. Stay proud, open that left hand out. And maybe you choose to look back. As long as everything's still connected, do that. But if it's not connected, why go further? Uneven foundation, no point. And then hand to hip, gaze forwards, foot down. Little shiggle, little shake. All right, let's just go through Warrior 2. We'll try a different entry. There's many ways to do this. So turn to face the left edge of your mat, standing in the middle of your mat, bend your knees and jump your feet apart. So now your two heels are in the same line. Your toes turn slightly inwards. Pivot on the ball, or the heel, I should say, of your right foot. Place the right big toe mound down. So now when you look down, your two heels are roughly in the same alignment. Bend your front knee. It's a little bit easier for most bodies when that happens. The other way to get in there, come back to where we started, two heels in one line, toes turned a little bit, is turn your foot about 45 degrees, right foot 45 degrees, and then lift the heel and turn it in. And what you get there is a heel to arch alignment. So you kind of have to decide, do you want to simply pivot on the heel, or do you want to pivot ball and then heel? They offer different sort of alignments in the lower body. Once you found that, bend into your right knee, whichever one you prefer. And then touch the hip points. I think they're called the as-is, the aces. These two hip bones should be level to the ground. So often we'll find the back hip lifting higher than the front, or sometimes the other way, front hip higher than the back. You want those 2 points level. This ensures your pelvis is nice and square. Lift your hands up. So both feet, so we're building from the foundation. Both feet are pressing down, they're dialing. Front foot in particular is dialing away from you. There's some quibbling about whether or not the back foot is also dialing away or dialing in. I like it dialing in, maybe you try both. Hands up. And now we're just trying to sustain this structure with poise. I've got an injury in my left shoulder, so palms face up here actually is preferable in this body today. The last little bit is your head, and you're gazing forwards out over that second finger with your eyes square. Hips still nice and square. As you inhale, lift your right hand up the ceiling, left hand to your back leg. Bend your right leg a little bit more and feel a little bit more compression of the right hip. Exalted warrior. Many variations. You can again choose what works for you. Beautiful. And then inhale back, warrior two. Keeping the front leg bent. Oh my, lots of work. Lean on your right knee with your palm face up. Take your left hand overhead, palm face down. Extended side angle. Back foot's pressing in, hands is reaching. There's a nice long line of energy from your left foot to your left hand here. Good. Then inhale, come up, straighten your front leg, yay. Move into triangle. Now here in triangle, at least my approach is those two hip points now can shift position. The back hip point moves back and up, and the front hip point moves in and down. So this is a movement of the pelvis, and then you're trying to keep the body long, not collapsing through the right side as you come into triangle pose. Keep that hip bone or the femur of the right leg inserted into the right hip socket. Triangle. Inhale back up. Straighten. Front leg is straight. You pivot on the heel all the way in. Depends on where you were at, right? So we want to get those two heels back in the same alignment. If all you did was pivot on the heel, well, that's easy. But if you had pivoted ball of foot and heel, well, to get back out, you got to pivot the heel out, toes in. Now they're in alignment, sort of. Same thing on the other side. You're just going to rotate your left foot, either half or all the way, and then heel comes in, or maybe just rotate the whole heel. Find your alignment through your feet. Press your feet down, dial the left foot away from you, and decide how you want to play the back foot. I like to internally rotate my right foot. Hands lift up, maybe you open the palms face up, maybe you don't. Maybe they stay face down. Maybe they do something else. Exalted warrior, you begin to drop a little bit into that left hip crease by bending your left knee, right hand down, and then just express this pose the way you like to express it. Nice. And then inhale back, warrior two. Lean on your left knee with your left elbow, right hand overhead, palm face down. Get nice and long. Maybe you gaze towards the extended hand. And then inhale back, warrior two. Now we straighten the front leg. Again, notice the hip points. They start level, but now the right hip point comes up and back. And the front hip point goes down and in. Your arms are in the shape of a T, like torso, and they stay that way, not collapsing through the left side of the torso. So keep the torso long. Triangle in the Euclidean manner. So no curvilinear triangles. It's all straight angles. Inhale back up. And then we'll turn your hands to the hips to turn your foot in whichever way made sense to you. Bend your knees a little bit and then jump the feet together. Turn to face the front of your mat and take it side to side. Just having a little bit of fun today. I guess we'd call it didactic fun, explanatory fun.
just trying to get into a little bit more of the nuances of what's going on inside your body as you're practicing. I've always said that it's not about what it looks like from the outside, it's what it feels like on the inside. So making all those important connections will really facilitate presence and poise in your practice. Alliteration, P. One more balancing pose and then we'll get down to the mat. And you know which balancing pose it is? Can you guess? Yes, you're right, it's tree pose. Feet together. Turn your right foot out, bring your right foot up somewhere. Use your hand if you must. What's important here? Foot to core. So notice if you're rolling to the outside edge of your left foot, not good. So maybe you start by spreading the toes, create that monkey foot, feel the arch lifting, feel how the engagement of the arch engages the thigh, creates a connection to the low belly. And then place your foot, but don't lose that foot to core connection. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Because I think I used to say, well, don't let that left hip bump out. Really what I'm trying to say is keep the arch of your left foot active and don't roll to the outside edge of your foot. It's not so easy to do. Hands to your heart. So now you got your foot to core working. Then you try to take energy from core up, up, up to your fingertips. And just kind of balance there. So you're like a tree, in other words. Trees draw energy from the earth, foot to core, and they take it from the core or the trunk and they blossom it out to the leaves, to the perimeter. We're trying to do the same thing. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, knee forwards, and exhale, foot down. Oh, to be a tree, huh? None of that political nonsense that's so prevalent in our lives these days. Turn your left foot out, create foot to core in the right foot. Bring your left foot up, place it, sustain foot to core connection, hands to heart. And now we're trying to go from foot to core, and then drawing energy up to the upper chest, up through the arms, up through the fingertips. And then a sort of sense of integration as well. So we're not super rigid. We're rooted, tall, and soft, like a tree. We don't hear trees grunting and breathing hard. They're just there, swaying in the breeze. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale your knee forwards and exhale. Bring your foot down. We're at the back of the mat. Take a big inhale. Exhale, dive forwards.
Walk yourself up the mat to plank, and from plank, simply lie all the way down. Put your left cheek on the mat, look to the right, and bring your hands beside your bum, palms face up. Passive neck twist. On one side. And then do the other side. Look to the left, right cheek on the mat. Just decompress that neck. Kind of nice if you've been at a computer all morning. And then chin on the mat. Bring your heels together, tops of the feet on the mat. Bring your hands interlaced or overlapped on the back of your head. Get your knees to begin lifting and then lift up. You're pressing your head into your hands and begin lifting your feet. So here, we're creating a line of energy from the back of your head, through the back of your spine, all the way through to your toes. So you're trying to keep the head pressing into the hands to create that aliveness through the whole form. And then slowly come back down. Hands by your shoulders, up onto your hands and knees. Knees go a bit wider. And then exhale back, child's pose. From child's pose, come onto your hands and knees again. Tuck your toes, keep your knees wide. Try to get your heels to touch with your toes tucked. Walk yourself back. Keza. Sword fighter stance, hands to your heart, heels squeezing. We're now working into the arch of your foot and the big toe, or the whole toe complex. Bring a little stress, functional stress and awareness to all parts of our body here. And then bring your hands down in front of you. Press with your hands to lift your knees. Step your feet as wide as the mat with your heels in. Sink your bum down. Squat. Elbows inside your shins, hands in prayer. Bum down, head up. And isometric pressure between your knees and your upper arms. Get the spine nice and long from your tail up through your head. Good. Bring your hands behind you. Set your bum down. Extend your legs out front. Little shiggles and shake in the legs. And now we'll just get into our more yin-like or passive aspects of the practice. Feet together. Hold on to your feet. Lift your chest. Pull forwards, round in. Relaxing through your facial features as much as possible. Letting your hips relax. A bit of a pull, perhaps. And then slowly rise back up. Hold your knees, give them a little bit of a squeeze. Then step your bum to the middle of the mat. Knees still bent. Hold behind your knees, lean back to lift your feet, boat pose, chest lifting. Today let's do a twisting boat so feet can stay pretty much where they are, hands like you're hugging a tree. Take a big inhale. Exhale, turn to your right, squeeze your knees together. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center, squeeze those knees. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. I didn't drink enough water today. Inhale back to center and exhale. Begin to lie down on your back. Draw your knees in towards you. Give yourself a bit of a squeeze. And then your feet can drop to the mat. Walk your feet in to touch your heels. Bridge pose. As you inhale, lift your bum up. Press your feet down. And let's take our arms way overhead today. Reaching your arms to the back of the room. And press with your feet to try and spread your upper back more broadly across the mat. So you're almost like you're trying to push yourself up the mat, creating a bit of traction through the upper shoulders, creating a bit of a length even through your neck, the back of your neck. Hips lift. And then slowly, you can just let your spine descend. And then let your arms come back beside the body. And flip-flop your knees, side to side. Take your arms and legs up. Knees bent, elbows bent, wrists relaxed, ankles relaxed. So this is simply dangling. You could add subtle movement or turn it into happy baby, whichever you prefer. Just letting everything kind of sink back towards the torso. Again, a kind of a grounding practice, a releasing practice. And then we can draw our knees in towards our chest. And then bring your feet down. You're going to need to bring your feet down, shove the hips or lift the hips over to the left, drop the knees to the right. Extend your left hand, look to the left. And breathe into this final twist. Just breathing, just relaxing. And then we'll come back to neutral. Pause. Lift your hips, move them to the right, drop your knees to the left. Extend your right hand, look to the right. And there may be different sensations one side to the other. This makes you perfectly normal. Nice, and then again, unwind, extend yourself long into Savasana. Feet flop open. Hands beside the side of your body, palms face up. Eyes can be closed. And feeling the gentle, subtle rise and fall of your breathing. You're not trying to manipulate your breath in any way. It's just happening in the background. Natural breathing. And today, while Thanksgiving is past, let's just bring a bit of awareness towards the center of our chest, our heart, and bringing to mind all those in our lives that make our lives just a little bit more special, meaningful, loving, kind. Put those people right there and express a bit of gratitude and thanks to them for being in your life. And know that by doing practices such as this for yourself, you are making their lives that much better as well. Thank you once again, my yogi friends, for sharing your practice with me. Let's take a shared breath together. Exhale, empty your lungs. Nice big inhale. And exhale to sigh. Thank you once again. Namaste, my friends. Take care.